One morning in a southern suburb of Tana River County, Kenya, bordering the great Tsavo National Park, lies a flourishing village. Here, a 30-year-old man named Matano lives with his family. His father, Mr. Tambo, is a retired teacher, and his mother, Sarah, works for the local authority. Matano's grandmother, Lulu, a fierce and strong woman of 70, epitomizes family strength. She gave Matano his name, which carries profound meaning, embodying 5 things. From a young age, Matano's cunning nature earned him the moniker, "Man with a lot of things." On this particular Saturday morning, the sun rose with a golden hue, casting a warm glow over the village. The air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers and the distant sounds of birds chirping harmoniously. Matano woke up early, feeling a sense of restlessness. He decided to visit his grandmother, Lulu, whose wisdom and strength had always been a source of comfort for him. Matano walked across the village to his grandmother's house, passing through the bustling marketplace where vendors were setting up their stalls. He greeted familiar faces along the way, exchanging pleasantries and smiles. When he arrived at his grandmother's house, he found her already up, tending to her small garden. "Good morning, grandmother," Matano greeted her warmly, bending down to kiss her on the cheek. "Good morning, Matano," Lulu replied, her eyes crinkling with a smile. "What brings you here so early?" "I wanted to talk to you," Matano said, his tone more serious now. "There's something that's been on my mind." Lulu sensed the gravity in his voice and nodded. "Come, let's sit by the mango tree. It's a peaceful spot for a good conversation." They walked together to the large mango tree at the edge of the garden, its branches heavy with ripe fruit. They settled on a wooden bench beneath the tree, the shade providing a cool respite from the morning sun. "What's troubling you, Matano?" Lulu asked, her gaze steady and reassuring. Matano took a deep breath, gathering his thoughts. "I know I've promised to get married next year, but I haven't been able to find someone who truly understands me. I've introduced several girls to the family, but none of them felt right. I'm worried I'll disappoint you. Also, you remember last time the lady I introduced to you, Lucy, I had hired her to act as my girlfriend. Kindly talk to my parents as well to bear with me and give me some time." Lulu listened intently, her expression thoughtful. "Matano, finding the right person isn't always easy. It takes time and patience. But I must admit, your habit of bringing different girls home every few months is quite frustrating. Stop those nonsense." Matano sighed, feeling the weight of his grandmother's words. "I know, grandmother. I'm sorry for causing you any trouble. I just want to make the right choice." Lulu placed a comforting hand on his shoulder. "I understand, my dear. But love isn't just about finding someone who makes you happy. It's about finding someone who will stand by you through thick and thin, someone who shares your values and dreams." Matano nodded, appreciating his grandmother's wisdom. "You're right, grandmother. I'll do better." "I know you will," Lulu said, her voice gentle but firm. "And remember, if you don't find the right person, I'll find you a traditional wife myself." They both laughed, easing the tension that had built up. Their conversation continued, weaving through memories and future hopes as they sat beneath the mango tree, the village life bustling around them. By the time they finished talking, Matano felt a renewed sense of purpose and determination. Days passed, and after the Christmas season, Matano returned to Nairobi. On his way back in a matatu, he found a seat next to a girl named Martha. The matatu was bustling with people, and the scent of roasted maize from the roadside vendors wafted through the open windows. Matano glanced at Martha, noticing her immediately due to her composed demeanor and bright, expressive eyes. Martha was reading a book, her brows slightly furrowed in concentration. Her calm amidst the chaos intrigued Matano. After a few minutes of silent observation, He mustered the courage to strike up a conversation. "That book must be really interesting," he said, nodding toward the novel in her hands. Martha looked up, a warm smile spreading across her face. "Yes, it is. It's a mystery novel. Do you like reading?" Matano nodded enthusiastically. "I do, especially stories that keep you guessing until the end." Their conversation flowed naturally from there. They talked about their favorite books, places they loved to visit in Nairobi, and their dreams for the future. Matano found himself drawn to Martha's intelligence and sense of humor. She was not only beautiful but also insightful and passionate about life. As the Matata navigated through the busy streets of Nairobi, they shared laughter and stories, finding common ground in their experiences and aspirations. By the time they reached their destination, Matano felt a connection he hadn't experienced with anyone else. "Would you like to grab a coffee sometime?" Matano asked, hoping to extend their conversation beyond the confines of the matatu. Martha agreed, and they exchanged phone numbers. Over the next few weeks, they met several times, exploring the city together. They visited art galleries, enjoyed local cuisine at bustling markets, and took long walks in Karura Forest. Each outing deepened their bond, revealing more about each other's personalities and values. Martha's charm and intelligence captivated Matano. She had a sense of adventure that matched his own, and her genuine nature made him feel at ease. Their conversations ranged from lighthearted banter to deep discussions about life and their future goals. Matano admired her independence and the way she carried herself with confidence. As their friendship grew, Matano introduced Martha to his family. His grandmother, though initially skeptical, warmed up to Martha's genuine nature. Martha's ability to connect with his family, especially his grandmother, reassured Matano that she was someone special. Their bond continued to strengthen, and Matano soon realized he had found the woman he wanted to marry. Excitedly, he shared his feelings with his family, and wedding plans were set in motion. The village buzzed with anticipation as preparations for the big day began. However, as the wedding day approached, unexpected challenges arose. On the morning of the wedding, Martha was nowhere to be found. Frantic and confused, Matano searched for her, only to receive a message demanding a substantial amount of money for the wedding to proceed. Martha threatened not to show up if he didn't comply. Shocked and heartbroken, Matano discovered that Martha was not ready for marriage. Her parents, unaware of her true intentions, had supported the union. Matano's grandmother, sensing the turmoil, called him outside the church for a discussion. "Matano," she began, her voice steady but concerned. "Sometimes, what seems perfect on the surface hides deeper flaws. Martha may not be the woman we thought she was." Matano nodded, feeling a mixture of anger and sorrow. "But, grandmother, I loved her. I thought she loved me too. Love is not always enough, my dear. Trust, honesty, and readiness for commitment are equally important. We must face the truth, painful as it may be." After a long conversation, Matano made a difficult decision. He called off the wedding, refusing to give in to Martha's demands. The villagers, initially shocked, soon rallied around him, offering support and understanding. However, Matano wasn't ready to give up on his special day. Gathering his courage, he returned to the pulpit and addressed the congregation. "Good evening, my beloved. Thank you for honoring this special day with your presence, despite the challenges we face. I need to announce that we are not calling off the wedding. Instead, I have a question for this assembly. Is there anyone here who has wished that this wedding could be hers and is ready to proceed and take my hand today?" The congregation gasped in shock as 10 young women raised their hands, a sight unprecedented in the village. Matano's mother rose to silence him, but both his grandmother and his father stood up to defend his bold statement. Father Kamanzi, the head of the diocese, also took a stand, supporting Matano's decision. A vetting procedure was quickly organized. Each woman was given 20 minutes to court Matano with openness and genuineness. The congregation watched with bated breath as the candidates presented themselves. After careful consideration, a perfect replacement for Martha was found. A wedding dress was bought ready-made from the market. Coincidentally, the chosen girl's parents were present and willing to give their daughter in marriage immediately. What seemed a daunting task at first became easier with the support of the villagers and the congregation. The wedding, initially marred by uncertainty, transformed into a joyous and extraordinary event. During the vows, Martha tried to cause a scene, but she was quickly restrained. She was already betrothed to David, a fact that surfaced during the wedding. Consequently, David and Martha married on the same day, alongside Matano and his new bride, Sally. The story of the extraordinary double wedding spread throughout the region. It became an event of its kind, celebrated for its uniqueness and the resilience of the community. Matano and Sally's wedding, which began with uncertainty, ended up being more memorable and joyous than anyone could have imagined. The villagers marveled at how a day that began with disappointment turned into a celebration of love, unity, and the unbreakable spirit of their community. After their honeymoon, Matano and Sally lived happily, their bond of genuineness earning them special attention. Sally quickly became loved by everyone in the village, just as Matano's grandmother, Lulu, had been. Their happiness was further amplified when Sally gave birth to a baby girl, whom they named Lulu in honor of Matano's grandmother. Sally was not just a good wife, she was a perfect one. Her kindness and warmth endeared her to everyone in the village, and her relationship with the elder Lulu became especially close. The old woman, who had been the heroine of the wedding, often remarked that Sally was the daughter she had always wanted. Tragically, Matano's grandmother passed away the following year. Her death left a void in the family and the village, and Sally was deeply pained by her loss. The entire village mourned intensely, recognizing that Lulu had been the source of strength and wisdom that had held the community together. Thank you for your time watching. Kindly hit that subscribe button, turn on notification bell to be notified once we upload new content.